I'm Rob Williams, the chair of the National Shop Stewards Network, and this is a lobby of the TUC that we've organised, the fourth in 4 years, really to remind the trade union leaders and the TUC that they passed a motion here last year calling for the consideration of a 24-hour general strike.
And no hope whatsoever that we're just going to sit there and say, there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. Well, of course there's something to do. Like we always do. We get off our knees and fight when we're under attack.
There's not one single trade union that will do it and achieve it by themselves. The only way that we will galvanise every working class person, every unemployed person, every student, every aged person, pensioners, etc., is by the trade union movement coming together and not saying about the practicalities of a general strike, but now naming the day for a general strike.
We think, if anything, over the last year, people's lives are in a far worse state. There's far more potential for the type of action. We're dealing with a government that suffered a loss over Syria, and really the trade union leaders should be given a lead. But the point is, so we are calling for them to enact the motion that was passed last year for a 24-hour general strike that could bring around the trade union movement, all the campaigners with the bedroom tax and the attacks on welfare, etc.
Young people step up and say, I want to join a union, I want to organise in my workplace. They can again just say, right, well then next week you've got no hours and you're out.
But I'll tell you what, out of the ones that we've had a 74% vote for a general strike. Yeah. So that's good.
However, there are already unions that are committed to going on strike this autumn, most notably the teachers, but others like the firefighters, the postal workers. And we are saying to trade union leaders this week, get in a room this week, sit down together, get your diaries open, and let's see how many people we can get out together in coordinated strike action in the autumn.
And the National Shop Stewards Network wants to see, and our delegates and our supporters will be fighting to make this TUC turn last year's words about a general strike into action.
Already, the numbers who are committed to strike action, we could have 1 million workers on strike. That's the type of thing that we want them to do this week.
And if there are some in the trade union movement who will continue to prevaricate, then those of us who are up for a fight have got to say, well, we're going to take on that responsibility. Teachers, postal workers, firefighters, civil servants, prison officers, right across the union movement, we've got to get ourselves together and we've got to decide to take the next step forward. Because although the date hasn't been announced yet, then the NUT and the NESUWT have got a date penciled in for that national strike in November. And we've got to turn that into mass action right across the movement so that we say to the TUC this week, let's be all out together in November. Thank you.
You start to revamp people. People would join the trade union movement on the basis that the trade union movement's doing something, rather than sitting there being blown by the wind. We should be wagging the towel, not them wagging us. And today's about a day of saying, let's put the date down and look at the practicalities of general strike, but more importantly,